We're pleased to welcome Joe Earman, County Commission candidate for District 3.
My name's Joe Earman. I'm running for Indian River County Commission District 3, and a little bit about myself. My family's been here since 1928. My grandfather moved up from Palm Beach County. Actually, we're fifth generation Floridian. He moved up from Palm Beach County in 1928 to farm up here at Indian River, and it's been our home ever since. And my grandfather was a founder of many local businesses here in town. He established where the Vero Beach Furniture Mart was the Indian River Citrus Bank. And during the Depression, he was a depositor, reclaimer, if you want to call it. Somebody that helped liquidate the banks and paid people back their assets. And after the Depression, he started that bank. And he did that, and he had Blue Crystal Water Ice and Storage and many others. And then my father followed in his footsteps with the Earman Oil Company, which was where Center State Bank is now located in town. He was also a past president, I believe, of the Chamber of Commerce, and one of the officers on the board, and did a lot of stuff in the community. Myself, I would join the fire department in 1980 and worked there 35 years with Indian River County Fire Rescue, and retired in December 2015. And I've been married for 36 years to my wife Elizabeth. We have two sons who both still live here, by the way. One works at Riverside Theater and the other is at Indian River County Sheriff's Office.
Very
deputy.
nice.
And we have one granddaughter, Marlee, that's 2 years old, and of course me and her are like this, but that's good. So I'm just running for county commission for different reasons. I think it's important for me to continue my community service. I want to give back to the county. It's not a job I need, but it's a job I want to do to help the public. Well, you could pick a lot of them. You could pick probably a top 10, especially with what's going on in the world right now. But my top 3 right now, the first one is probably our growth and development for the county. Everybody wants growth, but at what cost? Do we want growth, and do we want progress? Who's going to pay for it? How are we going to manage it? Is our infrastructure strong enough to command it and to support it? Those are some of the things we need to look at if we're going to support growth. I support growth, but I support smart and quality growth. Not a growth to where we're impacted so suddenly, or we're building subdivisions out there that are just around a lake and put out there and put a bunch of houses down with no sort of anything infrastructure, like I said, to support it, or no more or just a poor design. If we're going to have growth, it needs to be smart and quality growth. That's huge. That's huge for me, and we have to do it. The county's doing a pretty good job at that, but I think we can do better in making sure that all those things are done. Development, it ties into the same thing. Growth and development are pretty much one and the same, and so it's important that we do that. One of the next things would be the environmental issues that will tie into growth and development. If you have too much growth and development, it's not smart and it's not quality growth, what's it going to do? It's going to affect your environmental aspect of the county. So, everybody knows about the lagoon and hears about the lagoon. If we don't do anything about our lagoon and we're not part of the solution instead of part of the problem, then our property values, our businesses all along the Indian River Lagoon, Indian River County, and all the way down the whole stretch of the lagoon, which is a $2 billion a year industry, are going to go bottoms up. And we can't have that. The county can't stand that, and the state can't stand that kind of loss. So we have to do everything we can, and there's many ways to do that. We just need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. My opponent has said how he's such a lagoon supporter, but his voting record proves otherwise. He voted for the expansion of the Oslo boat ramp. He voted against the Indian River Lagoon Council until 4 years later, it was popular. People raised so much heck about it. He said, well, I need to change my vote. So he flip-flops and everything. He voted for the Johns Island pipeline to go across the Indian River. 80 feet under the river, a wastewater pipeline. Who would think that's a good idea when there's an alternative route to take it? So he'll tell you that he is, but he isn't. And that's something that we definitely have to work on. is not only the lagoon, but our drinking water, our water supply, and other areas of the water. I want to form like a water quality task force with somebody in the county that's all they do.
Mhm.
You know, we need to look at Brevard, at what they do in other counties or what they're doing. That's something that we need to do. So your voting record speaks volumes, especially as a sitting commissioner. And he's been there 8 years, and I'm a term limit guy, and to me, 8 years is enough. You won't see me go more than 8 years. You know, if it's good enough for the president, good enough for our governor and the state legislature, it ought to be good enough for county government also. Other issues with environmental, not only the lagoon, but like I said, our water in general, our drinking water in general, water supply, our wastewater uses, how we're using that, those are all important matters to do. Our biosolids, that's been in the news a lot with biosolids dumping. We can do better. We can definitely do better, and there's things that can be done to help, you know, work on those issues. The third one I chose was the county economy and business in general. You know, like people think, well, you were a fireman. What do you know about business? Well, I want to say that I know quite a bit about business. I know how to be successful. I know how to be unsuccessful. I know how to be, you know, what it takes, the hardships. Somebody told me years ago, he said, if you want to build character, you either join the military or you own your own business, because it'll build character. You know, there's times when you start a new business, you wonder how you're going to pay the bills. That builds character, but to still try to make it successful. And when you get to that point in life where it's been successful, you've probably built a lot of character. So, county economy and business, and a lot of people are worried, and I've talked to a lot of businesses, a lot of people, you know, with COVID going on, how it's impacted their business, and it hasn't been easy on a lot of people. It's been very difficult on certain industries within the business community, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a gym, whether it's anything that wasn't deemed, you know, a necessity at the time, you know, and we got to look at those impacts. I don't know if they'll be as bad as we thought, or at least let's hope so. I mean, some business definitely probably can't survive, and that's terrible, but I think we can come out of this. From the county standpoint, they learned a great lesson back in 2008 when the economy shut down due to the banks and the real estate market and all that stuff. And I think the county itself is in good shape, and I think we need to do everything we can is to help those businesses that need help at the time. There's a lot of different ideas floating out there. I think it's time to come together to look at it after maybe everything's over with and see where we're at. I think the state did a pretty good job about helping people. I think, you know, the federal government even did a pretty good job as best they could. That was unknown territory for everybody, and I think it's very difficult. So, you know, we need to look back on that. But the county is going to suffer a little bit because we didn't get our taxes. You know, the sales tax was down, the tourist tax, the bed taxes, all those stuff that I know the chamber's very familiar with, we're down. But I think because of what they learned in 2008, I think we're going to overcome that, and we'll probably be, you know, hopefully, and I'll do everything I can. But when I take office in November, to make sure that we come out this better, bigger, and stronger. And I think we can do that. So I think it's very, very important. You know, we are, not to be cliche, if that's a word, we're all in this together. You know, we're all in this together, and we can come out of it together. But it's important that your lawmakers, even on the county level, pay attention to what the general public and what the people are having to say out there. You know, I don't pander to any group, any special interest like my opponent, and it's very important that we listen to everybody and know what everybody's needs are. You know, you can't solve every problem, but you can darn sure listen, and that's what's important, is to be a good listener and try to pull into action if you can. Like I said, those are the top three that I came up with, especially for the chamber, but there's probably others. You know, I'm a big proponent of public safety. I'm not gonna, you know, be ashamed of that. You know, I'm a big proponent of fire rescue. I spent 35 years there. I'm a big proponent of law enforcement. You know, they all do a great job, and we need to support them. And you know, I'm a big proponent of anybody out there that's working hard trying to make a living, and that's what's important.